Hi, my name is Jeremy Brunton. I am the Senior Education Consultant for Lumos Learning. I wanted to thank you for joining and watching our presentation on how Lumos StepUp can help you with your distance learning plan or a hybrid model of that. Today we're going to look at the different synchronous and asynchronous ways that the StepUp program can be utilized on a school or district level. Um, a little history about Lumos before we get started. We started in 2007. Um, since that time, we've came a long way. We now support over 26,000 schools, 53,000 plus teachers, and over 370,000 plus students. The Lumos Step Up program is able to um, help your district or school in many different ways, from our distance learning solution to our back to school refresher course, which is very important for this, especially for this school year with the COVID and summer slide. State assessment rehearsal, our realistic SBAC assessments, our digital workbooks that hone in on that skills mastery, along with reading and writing fluency. A few different ways that we can help with synchronous learning would be the ability to safely conduct video sessions with utilizing Zoom or Google Classroom, etc. Any platform that your school currently utilizes, we can help with that, allowing for a safe way for the students to use their personal home computers or tablets or even their phone to connect with the teachers and be interactive. In addition, we have our smart board, which is another synchronous way that you can utilize the program. Teachers can conduct an interactive quiz with the students in real time and see how they are performing, and then go over how to get the correct answer with them afterwards as well, all while doing this in a live virtual classroom. We have also some great ways that when the teacher's not there, that the students can work asynchronously. We have our triggered remedial practice that gives each student an individualized standard-based plan to work on just those standards that they're struggling in. There's the ability for teachers to create custom lessons for small group, full class, or individual students that might need some extra help. And in addition to that, we have our AI that provides guided practice for the students, so that they can practice standards prior to starting either in a workbook or assessment. For this year, you know, with the COVID slide and the summer slide, the back to school refresher course add-on is essential to the Step Up program. It will diagnose and give each student an individualized plan that will help them catch up to grade level within the first 4 to 6 weeks of the new school year. As always, Lumos has their smart test prep methodology. So basically, with this methodology, giving that first practice test is essential. It will identify those standards that the students are struggling. It'll give them an individualized plan to work on grade level and below grade level. After they take that first test, they have their plan. They would work on those remedial and auto remedial assignments. Once done and you get closer to the actual SBAC assessment, giving them the practice test too will then reinforce and re-diagnose any standards that they might be still lacking, which will allow them to be ready for that SBAC assessment when that comes about. A few of our schools that have seen success in utilizing our StepUp program in the past. Gibson Elementary, they were a struggling school. They utilized us, and once they were done, they jumped 35 points in the state ranking for positioning of school by performance. Another example is Riverside. Riverside West was a high performing school. They were able to utilize our program to get even better. So the Lumos StepUp program can be used by either low performing or even high performing schools. It really fits well with all schools, um, and will help to show improvement regardless of where you're at. Of course, we have a lot of educators that have used us in the past or are currently using us and have really liked what the program has done. This is a few of our feedbacks that we've received, um, just so that you can see some of the great things people are saying about the Lumos Step Up program. This we also promote that the Lumos Step Up program can really impact individual student growth, not just at the school level or at the class level, but at the individual level. As you can see on this graph, the this student did not utilize Lumos until after the first of the year. When, after using Lumos for just that short amount of time, the student on the last diagnostic gained 30 points of improvement. So it really shows that even on the individual level, for each student, the Step Up program can make a real difference. The Step Up program, we pride ourselves on being a collaborative learning platform, which allows for all the key components to be together and in the know. So from the school leaders and their admin portal, the teachers and students, and we even integrate the parents with the parent portal. With them all working together, you will get student success. And with the Step Up program, you are able to, we have all of this, and we promote that collaborative learning platform. Now, going into a little bit of specifics for each portal. The teachers portal, that is where the teachers can assign lessons. They can find additional learning resources through our EdSearch, and of course, the assessments are there as well. Um, Teachers can monitor students' progress and also develop remedial instruction as well. In the student portal, the students are able to practice those skills and standards. It's personalized for each student with high quality learning content. And we also have the assessment rehearsal piece as well. In the admin portal, this kind of gives each administrator, either at the district or the school level, ability to track the student's performance. Also, they're able to look at school and classroom reports as well, and monitor program usage, ensuring that you're getting your money's worth and that teachers and students are logging in and utilizing the program to its fullest potential. When you first log into the teachers portal, on the dashboard, you're going to be able to quickly see a overview of reports that are going to let you know what your class has been up to. In this example, it's the last week. Um, One of the key things, especially with the distance learning and with the or a hybrid version of that, student activity. You want to make sure your students are utilizing the program. So at the teacher level, they are able to see who's logging in and who isn't. You're able to click in to see who isn't as well. Now with these reports, these are just kind of snapshots. All the real good reporting, is down in our reports on the side here. Now we're going to head over to the My Lessons. Now that we're on our My Lessons page, the first thing that you'll see is the Back to School Refresher course, which offers one CAT and one performance task, which will, with this, we are reviewing the fifth grade. It will be assessing the, the fourth grade standards in the Back to School Refresher. Uh, then you're going to see our SBAC aligned practice assessments, two different CATs and two different performance tasks that mimic the actual SBAC assessment. In addition to that, we have our online digital workbooks. These digital workbooks are broken down first by domain and then by standard and topic. Each of these have between 15 and up to 50 additional practice questions in each of these digital workbooks, so that you can utilize this throughout the school year, supplementing as you're teaching within the in the classroom, um, or if you have certain students that are struggling, you can use them in intervention wise as well. Now we're going to look at a few of the tabs that are here. And the first one is the info. We're going to look at the back to school refresher, CAT refresher. If you click in, it is going to show you the number of questions, the number of question types that are within that lesson or assessment, and the standards or standards that are covered within it as well. Then we're next going to go to the preview. In the preview, it looks like a little eyeball. This is going to allow you to look at the question type, the actual question, and the correct answer along with the standard. In addition, you are also able to add any of these questions to your resource kit and create your own custom lesson, quiz, or assessment. We'll get into that a little bit later on. In addition to that, you are able to quickly switch from one assessment or digital workbook to another by utilizing the drop-down menu. Now we will go back to the My Lessons. As we talked about in the slideshow, one of the synchronous ways that you can utilize this Lumos StepUp program is with our smartboard. Now, with the smartboard, this allows for, as a teacher, to utilize an interactive quiz with the students. Now, you can do this either in a distance learning setting, or you can do this in the classroom as well. The teacher would invite the students to the smartboard assignment. They would log in with their devices or from home, and then the teacher can work through the problems with the students. When it comes time to answer, the students would answer in real time. The teacher would be able to see who's answered correctly, who has answered incorrectly, and then the teacher is able to go over how to get the correct answer with the students. After they complete the interactive quiz, all of the grading, it will be sent to the reporting so the teacher can look at it overall after. Now we're going to go in and we're going to assign the refresher CAT to the students for the back to school refresher. Here, the first thing that you'll want to do is put a description, whatever directions you'd like to give the student. I'm going to put take your time. Next, you can also, if you would like the students to join you virtually through one of your classrooms, you are able to put in a link to Zoom, to Google Classroom, or anything that your school has authorized for you to utilize for a virtual classroom setting. Now, if you don't have a Zoom account or a Classroom account, you can create one right up here. Next, we're going to go and we are going to assign to the students to this assignment. You can assign a single student, a small group, or you can select the entire class. Next, we will go to the advanced options. This is where you can access and define how you want to assign the assignment a little better. We have the assignment mode. You have a choice of 3 different options here. You can do a partial test. You can do a difficulty based, which gives them an option of an easier, medium, or hard assessment. Or for today, what we're going to do, we're going to go with the full length. You do have the ability to randomize as well, so that not all the students are getting the same question at the same time. Next is the assignment type. And again, you have 3 different choices. The first is basic, and that is what it's preset on. With the basic, they will get just the assessment. There will be no intervention at all. Next would be the remedial. If you select the remedial assignment type, the student will get on grade level remediation only. Next, what we're going to use today is the deep remedial. And with the deep remedial, this goes one step further. The first thing that you're going to need to do is set a standard proficiency marker. Whatever your district or school uses from a 0 to 100% score to deem a student proficient in a particular standard. We preset at 70%, but you're able to move this up or down based on what your school uses. Now, how this is all going to work. When the students finish this part of the assessment, the program is going to kind of take over. It is going to grade them by standard. Any standard they fall below that proficiency marker, the program is going to notice that, and it's going to assign them first on grade level intervention. It'll give them some videos to watch. It'll give them some solved questions and some guided practice to practice with our AI on their own. Then they will take a mini quiz, which you're able to set the number of questions for. We'll set this at 10. If the student takes the mini quiz and fails, the program's going to say, oh, they need more help still on that particular standard. So it's then going to go and it's going to look at the foundational standards from the previous grade level. And it will, and you're able to set the grade level depth here. So we're going to set this at 2. Now, once they take both the PT and also the CAT for the back to school refresher, they're going to have an individualized standard-based plan to work on just the standards they're struggling in for math. We also have this for ELA as well, but today we're doing the math. There's also a bunch of different options that you can turn on or off based on what your preference is. So now we're going to go and we are going to assign this to the students. It will let you know that you've successfully assigned it. Now from here, if you utilize Google Classroom, we have integrated with them recently. So you are able to go here and share this assignment in the Google Classroom as well. So now we're going to go back to the dashboard. Now that we're back at the dashboard, we're going to quickly scroll down and I'll show you exactly where you can find your assignment. So here, our refresher course that we just signed is here. You can edit it, and anything in blue you can click on. Now we're going to go and briefly look at the student account. Now that we're in the student account, we have the Lumos Assistant, and the Lumos Assistant will talk to the students, and it is our AI that will be there when you as a teacher are not. As long as the student has assignments up in their bell, the Lumos Assistant will continue to give them math and ELA assignments um, until they run out. So this is great, a great asynchronous way to utilize our program. So if the student's at home doing distance learning, the teacher knows that the Lumos assistant is going to make sure the student is staying on task and working on assignments within our program. So what we're going to do, we are going to go into the bell now and find our assignment we just assigned. Now that we're here, we are going to find the refresher course. So we're going to click into that. We are going to practice the refresher cat. Now for this, we are not going to take the entire assessment. We are only going to take a few. I just want to give you a brief preview of what the assessment looks like. So in this first one, it looks like it's a word problem, and it would be a numeric word problem. So they're going to have to answer how many slices. So I'm just going to randomly select one. As you can see, also, we have a bunch of IEP features as well. It looks like for this student, they have the um, the text to speech. It will read to them the actual problem. In addition, the student has the ability to highlight as well anything when they're reading. This might come in handy in ELA when they're reading long passages, but it can be utilized in math as well. We also do have where you can magnify as well for those students that need that. So we're going to go to this one here is a multiple choice. And we're going to skip to the end. So say the student gets stuck on this. They can bookmark it. And now they can also add a note. If they would like to put any notes in here, they can, and they can save that. So now we are going to skip to the end of the assessment. This here is a numeric response question. Once the student is done, they can use the back button to go back, or they can use the review to go back and answer any that they might have skipped. But once we're done, we will hit the arrow once more. It will alert them if they have not answered all the questions. We are not answering them all, so we're going to move forward. At this point, the program will then correct all question types except the short constructed response or extended response questions. Those do need to be corrected by the teacher. If you purchase, we do provide training in our pricing. So our trainer Iris will go thoroughly through how to correct those different question types that need to be corrected by the teacher. Now, what you can see here is it will give the students an overview of how they did overall, any that need to be graded by the teacher. Then it's going to give them a standard proficiency report, letting them know by standard if they were proficient or if they needed additional practice. So they're going to get a detailed report there. In addition to that, the students get instant feedback because they can go into the detailed report. They can look at the question that they answered incorrectly. It will let them know their answer, the correct answer, and it will explain to them step by step how to get the correct answer as well. We call that our instant feedback for students. So they're getting that instant feedback and remediation after they take a workbook or assessment. Now we're going to go back into the teacher's portal, and we're going to review a few of the reports. We have a variety of different reports. Today we're going to focus on the Standards Mastery Report, though. In the Standards Mastery Report, you are able to break down by standard how your class is doing. So we're going to quickly look at the CAT for the back to school refresher that we just completed, and we'll put the date range in and we'll push submit. This will pull up how your class is performing on this particular back to school refresher. So what's great about this report is after your class has taken this, a teacher can go through here and they can look and see exactly where the class is struggling. I do apologize. We don't have a huge amount of students in our demo account that have taken it, so it's there's not a lot of data here, but this is a very good resource for teachers to be able to identify classroom gaps. So what we're going to do next, if you want to take a closer look at a particular standard, you can go to, it looks like a little telephone pole or firefly. You click on that, and that would be the coherency map would pop up here. The coherency map is going to break down the standard for the teacher so they can see the current standard, previous foundational standards, and next level standards that are connected. In addition, it is going to give a breakdown of how each of your students are doing in the program for this particular standard and give you a class average. Down here, you're able to see the standard description and overview and any additional videos or even pins on this particular standard. Scrolling back up a little bit, from here, you're able to access our Ed Search. If you hit on Create Custom Lesson, this is going to bring you to our Ed Search, which allows you to create custom lessons and assessments and quizzes for your class, and you're able to then assign it directly through our StepUp program into the My Students section. In the My Students section, this is where all of your students, where you can manage your students and their accounts are stored. Now, when and if you purchase, we will do all the setup of the student accounts for you. So you won't have to worry about that. We are also integrated with Clever, so you can do a Clever single sign-on as well. But in here, one of the things that you're able to do is go into the Edit button. And in the Edit button, you can edit the student's name, you can change their password. This is also where you manage their IEP features. We have quite a few different ones, from text to speech, reverse contrast, answer eliminator, the zoom in and out, grayscale, and this is where you can also turn on or off the Lumos Assistant. As we talked about in the slideshow, we have a parent portal, and we've talked a lot about the student and teacher portal. We've mentioned the admin portal, but to bring it all together and make sure that the students are successful, inviting the parent is a key part of that. With the invite parent option, this will allow for parents to sign up for a free parent account, which will allow them to monitor and track their child's progress through our program, getting them in that collaborative environment with the school administrators, the student, and the teacher. All you need is their first name and last name, email. You are able to send a copy of the invite to yourself, and if you choose, you can allow parents access to the assign function. So with that, that wraps up kind of the overview of our StepUp program for distance learning and back to school. If you're interested in getting an individual school demo, if you'd like some pricing, or if you just have some additional questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to touch base with me at the 1-888 number. My extension is 103, or at my email address. I would love to set up a time to talk. Or you can also reply back